it's a bridge. It just doesn't leave. Some books, they leave you on the air to find your parachute or whatever, to try to build up what is actually happening on the next phase of the book without even reading it. This one, you can already outline for you that, okay, we're going to talk about this now, just without even me saying that in the book. Like, for example, let me show you just the transition from yo. So on this video, guys, I just want to show you the edited version, right? Because the previous one was like, had a lot of mistakes, and it wasn't on the right standards, so right now I just made a few edits, and I just want to show you, like, the differences, and maybe you'll let me know if you guys want me to show you, right, how I did this, how I easily edit my stuff like this, just using my phone, as you can see, my tablet, whatever you want to call it. So basically what I changed is the color and the formatting, the positioning of the chapters, so that it can look good, So now I'm done, as you can see. So this is the after, right? This is the after. Now I want to show you the before. It was terrible, like shit. And the reason I'm showing you, right, is because, like, I want you to think like this, that, okay, if you have a project, right, that you have done before, but you haven't, like, completed the project, if you have the project and you haven't, or you didn't do it to your standards, to the highest standard possible. If you have completed the project but you haven't done it to those standards, right, those high standards, the perfect standard, the quality, proper quality shit, you can always go back. If it's something that cannot be edited, like a book like this, then you can redo that shit again, and 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be better. It's gonna be better. So go out there, look what you have lost, what did you leave behind that you can fix, because a lot of you, I know you have a lot of time for bullshit, a lot of you have a lot of time for bullshit. So why not use that time for fixing your errors, your own errors? Stop minding other people's business and shit like that. Just do your shit. Leave your phone. Like, a lot of you would be lost by me saying that, oh, leave your phone, whatever. Me, I know when to start using a phone. I don't need this shit, I don't need money, I don't need anything, but I know when I need those things. I know, and I know when I need to leave them alone, So again, let's not compare each other's lives. So now, as you can see, this one, like, it probably looks good for others, but for me, like, it's terrible. I need to actually, after what I've learned, right, I know I need to make this better. I knew I need to make this better. So now, as you can see, these ones, some of the errors, they happen just because I've been editing, but it wasn't this terrible. But, like, as you can see, the color is not, like, really good. It doesn't match with the cover and shit like that. Like, it's just the positioning of the paragraphs is just scattered, and yeah. Now you can go. Hold on, let me wait for you to focus. Okay, now, right, you can go out and check the book. After this video, I'm gonna upload this book right now, so you can go out and read it. As I said, it's for the chosen ones only. If you're not chosen, then you're gonna go there with the wrong mindset, you understand? And when you start to read this book, you're gonna miss each and every juiciness, fruitiness, the goodness. of this book, you're gonna miss all of it. This book needs you to prepare your mindset. If your mindset is already negative, right, then by default it's gonna when somebody pokes on your wounds, when somebody keeps picking up on your wounds, it's gonna pick up on a lot of your wounds, and mind you, it's not my personal story. There's nothing about me on this book. There's not even my name on this book. It's a book about life. When you start to talk about life, right, not the negative connotations or the positive just life purely, without all the shit, like I said, So now, I told y'all the mind is pure, You then take your shit and smear it on the mind. You understand? So now, this is how the book looks, as I said. I want you guys to tell me if it was better previously with the blue color or with this color. I want you guys, because for me, like, this is perfect. And when I say it is perfect, it's not just coming from a place of shallow, understanding of things. It's coming from a very in-depth, psyche explanation or realization of life or reality or existence. Because now, when you start to talk about existence, we are talking about this book right here. Let's forget about life, because life has a lot of negative connotations. So now let's just look at existence. This is it right here. Purity. When you start to talk about purity, pure, this is what it is right here. So as you can see, even with the cover right here, it's like the color are just good. This color just pops like that. I mean, I could have used the white, but like shit, I don't like white, especially for this book. No, it just doesn't come like that. It's not the white kind of book. It's not the whitish book. It's this colorish book. Like I said, it's coming from a very in-depth. So when I look at color, I don't just look at color and say it's this color. No. In the very same way I was explaining with these contents, right, and how I carefully and intently placed each and every chapter, and mind you, intuitively, because I never planned it, but intuitively I knew that eventually this is how it's gonna align. So as you can see, they are very much well aligned, these chapters, and even in depth. When you read the book itself, you're gonna understand that from chapter 1 to chapter 2, it's a crossover. It's a bridge. It just doesn't leave. Some books, they leave you on the air to find your parachute or whatever, to try to build up what is actually happening on the next phase of the book without even reading it. This one you can already outline for you that, okay, we're gonna talk about this now, just without even me saying that in the book. Like, for example, let me show you just the transition from number 1 to number 2, right? I'm gonna show you. I'm not talking about what's going to happen on the next chapter, no, but as a reader, if you are good at reading, if you understand reading, if you don't just read but you understand reading, because you can learn, but if you don't understand learning, what is learning, then it's pretty much that you are just looking at whatever that you are learning. So now, from number 1 to number 2, right, as I said, when I was explaining this book, that God looked at himself and then he realized that, okay, boom, I have this side and this side of me. Just those awarenesses, right? Look at this. It is time for change. That's the last sentence of the chapter. It is time for change. And then co-creation, right? So you're gonna ask yourself, how does it is time for change and co-creation make up a story? How do they connect to make up a story about God? But if you can read, right? If you know how to read, let me put it this way: because I know a lot of you after this you're gonna download and buy this book, right? When you read from this illusion, right? Actually, when you read this whole chapter, in general, you're gonna start to feel when it separates from chapter 1 to the red carpet for chapter 2. You can already tell where the red carpet, right, for chapter 2 starts by just the end of chapter 1, and the end of chapter 2 is a red carpet for chapter 3. It's not a point blank like boom, this is now. No, it needs a lot of insight. So even like let me show you the last part of the book, right? The author. I'm telling you guys that you should have what? An open mind, and you should meditate upon before you put into practice these things that I've talked about here. Whether you think about them or you decide to act on them, you must what? Open your mind. And in most cases you should be in a meditative state, in a calm, aligned, connected, universal, unconditional state of being. That's when you're gonna be granted to read this book. Otherwise, if you are not in those states of being, don't even try to read anything in general. Go and sleep, do something like that. So now, so basically, as you can see, the colors be changing as well. The letters colors be changing. So as I said, guys, everything it has a purpose for this to be in this book. That's why it has 44 pages. I could have included a lot of things that people would include in their book so that it can be huge. But that used to happen back then when publishers wanted people to meet up their standards, recommendations, yada yada. But right now it's 2020, bitch. We ain't about that shit. So anyway, this is how it looks, guys. Tell me what's up, right? See you on the next one, and bam.